Okay, so just started that recording. So again, thanks for your time tonight, guys. Looks like it's just Browns, Plains, and myself. Maybe WA will come online and some people from there will join us. But otherwise, if we get started, then we can wait for them to join later on if they do. So tonight's your night. I'm here to help you better understand different elements of what we have. My name's Nick, and what we've got here is a little picture of how all the different moving parts work. So we've got, you guys are using Sports TG, is that right, for your registrations this year?
Yeah.
Yep. So all your registrations come through from Sports TG. Now, are you keying those in direct, or are you letting families do that for you?
We've done it directly.
You do it directly?
Yes.
Yep. Okay, so you're key.
Online.
And people do it online too. Okay, cool. So as you know, that's web-based, so that you've got to go online to do that. In ResultsHQ, assuming you've already done this a few times now, you've gone into members, member import, and you've brought across your latest active and financial members. You're comfortable with that process?
No, that's something we need to learn.
Okay.
It's our first year.
Okay, so we'll run through that step now. On that point, do you have active and financial members in your Sports TG profile already?
We have active. I don't believe that they've been made financial.
Okay, so that's the first criteria to allow any registered members from Sports TG to come across to ResultsHQ. A, they must have paid, so that's the financial part. And active means that you've ticked them off to say that they are a valid registration, as in you've seen proof of age or whatever other criteria you have to actually do that final step. So if somebody's able to, if there's any athletes that have that criteria that you know of, if somebody wants to do that in parallel here tonight, then we can show how to bring them across. Is your registrar there tonight? Are they able to go and do something like that while we're having a chat?
I can do it right now.
Okay. Cool, so that's the first part. So your members will come across, so we'll step through what that process is. And that's into ResultsHQ. So are you guys really familiar, or first time you've ever seen that screen was 2 hours ago? How much exposure have you had to ResultsHQ?
I am doing recording from here. I've watched your YouTube,
Yep.
and I've opened things up, played with things, but we haven't been able to actually add anything yet.
Okay, cool. So you've seen it, you've kind of had to play around, but you're not totally across all the different moving parts in there.
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. All right. Now you've got timing gates, so that's this lower part here, RaceHQ. So somebody in the room's already comfortable with RaceHQ?
That's me.
Yay! So we can talk through any bits you've got around that too, but obviously that doesn't need internet to work. That sits on a laptop. Internet's handy to be able to bring down your latest members and PBs and events and results and so on, but it also then allows you to push back up your results back to ResultsHQ. Do you guys use Competition HQ at all, or thought about using it, or never heard of it?
That's the app-based, isn't it?
Yeah, so that's kind of like RaceHQ. It lives either on a Windows laptop or tablet, like RaceHQ can, but it's also available in iOS and Android. So that's the part where we have those different avenues to use Competition HQ. So if you've got any Android tablets or phones or Apple phones and iPads, then you'd be able to use that instead of paper, and that will let you key in your shot put, long jump, whatever, as it's happening without needing paper. And then because that device may have a SIM card or needs to use some wireless internet, to be able to then push that data back up to ResultsHQ. So that's what that one's about. So that's something we can talk through tonight as well if you want to have a look at that one. And then the last part of it is obviously the families. what they get to see and what's the benefit to a family. So have you had a look at it all, what's happening in the family area?
Yes, it looks wonderful. That's
Okay.
the reason why we want.
Okay, cool. So you're across the family part. We'll talk through race and competition HQ, but the main focus will be on results HQ and just the daily process or the weekly process or cycles that you got to do within results HQ. Does that sound like a plan for tonight?
Yes, please.
Yes, please. All right, nice one. So how about we just jump straight into results HQ, and then I'll just show you through that IMG import process and then what your other daily or weekly cycles are. So I'll just jump back into Center Admin. So obviously you know how to, yep. Let me just go have a look at something. Come on.
Oh, do you want the user? I know the user. If you want that.
I'll just quickly do something. I was just trying to, where's it gone? I thought I had that already, but I didn't, obviously.
What do you need?
There we go. I got it. No.
That's what a daily gets all good. No, I think it's all good. You just see timing solutions.
Okay, here we go. Try that. You got me?
There we go.
All right.
Thank you.
So here we go. So to find how to do IMG sync and make sure they're active and financial, there's a help topic to do this. So if you go to Results HQ help area, then this is the help topic. But basically, there's a little video on what you got to do. But here you'll see some green circles.
Yeah, we've got those.
If you click on that, then it will make it a green tick, and that will make them active.
So they are active, but they're not listed as financial.
Okay, then there must be a setting in there somewhere. Have they paid? So they've paid you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah. So in theory, if you go to edit, there must be an option there, I'm assuming, that will let you say that they are now financial.
Okay, so we'll have to I noticed that there was the option, but whether or not I have those access.
Are you a user or maybe
Is it under subs? Is that subscription?
Sorry, Nick.
See that subs column? Is that subs subscriptions?
Yeah. Oh, okay. I think that's more to do with the mailing list than actual.
Okay.
That's okay, we'll work that.
All right, so that's, I know how to make them active because most people are normally financial when they pay online. But because you guys have manually keyed them in, I'm not sure what the process is there. Maybe under that edit function.
Yeah, we're just looking at under another username on a different computer and seeing if it's just my restriction.
I think it's your restriction doing it. That's what it is.
So we'll just go and have a look. So I'm just in your browsnplains profile and I'm just going to go to members, IMG import. Here's all the options on what you can map across, but I'm just going to go and just start the process. So I put my email in and I press start import. And it says, are you sure? Make sure they're up to date, and we'll go okay. So in theory right now it's starting to bring across any active and financial members and would be able to see that on your age breakdown graph here, but obviously there's no members appearing. So how are you going with that other computer? Is that helping you see anything different?
Yeah. No, I'm a super user. Okay, so we're going to have to contact them to find out why we can't.
Okay, so you haven't been able to make anyone financial? Okay.
But now that you've shown how to bring them over,
Yeah, so members,
I can do that.
IMG import, come in here, put your email in. The only reason why you put your email in is so that it can send you an email when it's done and it tells you what it has done as well. So once you press start import, then you can go and have a cup of tea or go and do something else, and then once your email comes in, you know that it's finished. So once you've done that, the normal process in a week will be, okay, bring all your members in, make sure you've got all your latest and greatest members. And I can see here you've already started setting up some dates, so that's great. Throughout the season, those dates, so you've been doing that?
Yeah, I've just been trying to figure it out.
Okay,
We'll
so
see what's in there.
good one. So let's go do a little dummy one now, okay? So step one would be members, IMG import, bring them in. Next step would normally be to go to season calendar, or I prefer to use this way to get there because everything's up the top and I can always get to it. So event calendar is the same as me going to season calendar. So I'll go calendar. In here, you've got your 2 weeks that you've currently set up. If I click on the eyeball, I can go and see what you've actually set up for the second. So if we come down here, we can see you've got a whole bunch of ages across the top. And then down the side, we've got the genders, and in the middle, we've got all the different age, gender, event combinations that you've created. So the 17 males are doing long jump, high jump, discus, and discus, 2 discuses, and 100 meters.
I'll correct it.
That's right. So at least we can see what's in there. So this is one view, and this is the matrix view versus if we click on a list, it changes how it looks and it goes down the screen. So here we've got all the 6 male events, 70 discus long jump, and then we've got the 6 female events and so on, and it goes all the way down the screen. So it just depends on how you prefer to look at things. Normally when you're building out a program or a calendar, this works well because then you don't have to scroll up and down. You can just quickly see what it is that you've added. And if we wanted to add something, I won't add something now, but I'll just go through the steps. So if it was a male and female, then I click on both of these. If it was a couple age groups, then I can click on a couple age groups. If it was a few events, then I can click on a few events. And then once I hit this green Add Events button, it would go and build out this new combination of male, female, 6, 7, 10, javelin, 200, 800, and it'll go and put that into my grid. It looks like you've already been doing that, so that's great. So you're across those steps. If I accidentally added some in, yep. So which discus don't you want in there? Which discus do you want to take out?
I can't remember right now. And the 2 options, 1.5.
You want me to get rid of the 1.5?
No, if it's the 17 boys, get rid of the 1.
Get rid of the 1, okay. So just by mousing over this 1, it's a little blue pop-up and it says 17 male discus 1 kg. If we want to get rid of it, I can click on this delete and I go, are you sure? Because what it was going to do, if there was results in here, we're about to delete the results as well. So we'll have to go and rekey that. So it goes, are you sure? And then there's one more. Are you sure you're sure? Because you're really about to delete all the results. And we go, that's cool. It's empty. We're happy to delete it. And now it's It's gone. So now we've only got
That's what I love about it. I love that you asked us if we want to stop or delete anything.
Yeah, good.
Kind of fun.
It comes from having a few painful conversations with people. I didn't know I was deleting, but we had a message up. So we put an extra message just to double make sure. So that's the process of creating, so adding events and deleting events. What you can also do is once you've got a really cool program, so this is your week 1 and you'll reuse this week 1, I'm assuming, in another 2, 3, 4 weeks time, you'll kind of rotate it through. Is that right?
Yeah. Well, not the orientation, but yeah.
Yep. So if I wanted to, I could click on this and get rid of that blue box, and I could give this a name. So now I'm creating a template that I can reuse in the future based on what's on this screen. So if we jump out of here and we go to event calendar, and I go and add a dummy one in for tonight. So tonight is Nick test, demo, and tonight's date is the 13th. I can either add new, like what we just looked at, and go and add in an event. And there it is there. I could copy an existing meet, so I could copy any of these other ones that you've got set up. Or I could use a template, which is what I just saved. So that's my Nick test. Looks like you've already gone ahead and done that, which is awesome. So you've got your templates. If we want to see the hot wet program, click on that and go preview. And you've just got attendance for those couple events. So oh no, that's not the program I thought it was. Let me go find another one. Here's the Nick test one. Let's preview that to see if it is. Oh yeah, great. That's the one I was looking to do. Then I could go and apply that program now. Alternatively, you can import a program. So if you've been to somebody else's event and you really liked how their program was, they could then export it out and email it to you. Then you could come in here and you could email it, import it back into your program. So now you're mirroring what they've done. That's also a handy process once you export it for you to edit it en masse. If you want to tweak things like the start time or the order, you can edit it all in Excel, save it, then come back in here, find your file that you saved, then import it back in, and then you've updated what you've got there. So that's the basics there on how to create a new date, like the test night that I've set up here. Any questions around those steps?
No, it was awesome. So we can have you on speed dial, yeah?
Speed email, speed question, speed dial if it's really, really urgent. But yes, we are around, as you're hopefully aware.
No, it's very simple and easy.
So how do I get to it? Tell me what I got to do.
Events. Is that what you're talking about? Yeah.
Yep.
Calendar.
So if I wanted to go and edit a week because it got washed out or I need to add in some events, how would I do that?
Back up to events. You know what you mean?
So we've got, say, I've got my test night here, Nick test.
Oh, get back on the eyeball on, let's go week 1.
Oh, yep, sorry, I jumped onto a Nick test already. Yep. And then tweak away here, eh?
And then we'll pop the one that we want. Oh, no, we're not in that yet. Are you creating or?
I'm just going to edit. So let's say there was a washout or there was a lot of rain, so we had to not do high jump, so we added on an extra shot put or something because it was all wet. So then I'll click on the eyeball, get my extra events,
and then we'll pop up.
Add my shot puts in, and off we go. Cool. How do I do an IMG import? Members, yep. Yay, good one. And then what do I do on this screen?
We type in our email address, what we want to import. Well,
Yay, good one. You guys are fast learners.
If you do an import and say there's like 100 athletes, and then you have another 20 register again, if you do another import, is that only going to bring the extra 20 across, or does it import everything all over again?
It will look for any updates, as in member details, and update those, but then it'll also see that you've got new ones and add them or reactivate them. So you can...
So it won't end up with...
No, you won't have duplicates and triplicates and so on throughout the week every time you do that. So you should only have one athlete of that name, regardless of how many times you've done an import. Okay, so step 1, members. Step 2, set up my program. Then normally once you've done a program, the normal steps, in my mind at least, is to go and print off some recording forms.
One question I wanted to ask.
Yep.
Like, for instance, if you've entered the registration into IMG and you've imported it into ResultsHQ, then the parent comes back and says, oh, you spelt my name incorrectly. You need to change it. Does that have to go back to ResultsHQ? Can you change it in ResultsHQ, or do you have to go to IMG to change it?
Ideally, you change it in IMG, so then next time you do an import, it all flows across correctly.
It won't duplicate that athlete?
No, it shouldn't. Shouldn't duplicate the athlete because we're using some unique fields in the background to try and keep it all nice and tidy. So I'll definitely recommend updating at the start of that data process, which is SportsTG, and then that should come across. Even if you change the athlete's number in SportsTG, you won't get a duplicate here in ResultsHQ.
okay, thank you.
So I'm just going to log out of your browsnplains now because you don't have any athletes, so it won't help on recording sheets. So I'll log out. And you may already have had to play around in the demo center. So it's demo.
No, we have it, but no.
So demo is a username and demo is a password, spelt the same as what you can see on the screen with a capital D. So once I'm in here, this is my demo center. There's a whole bunch of athletes. So that's what your screen will look like once your IMG import starts bringing over athletes. Below are all the dates. There's a whole lot of testing going on in this one. It just keeps going down and down and down. What you'll notice is, apart from a whole bunch of dates, there's this little dark blue line that appears on some dates. That shows us what the attendance, how many attended. So right here this week had 60 athletes out of 739 athletes attended. So hopefully you'll have a bigger dark blue section, and it's going to snake along and then taper off towards the end of the season as it tends to do, but not at your centre obviously, but just everyone else's centre.
No.
So that's what you'll see. So when you log in, you'll get to see a dark blue line. Hopefully that's nice and long across the screen, which shows you've got lots of attendance, which is great. You'll also have this column here, which is total PBs, so the total number of personal bests that were achieved for any given week. So there'll be lots of big numbers in there, hopefully. There may be a few numbers in the centre record column, as in how many centre records were broken for that week. And then at some point in time, your points columns will come off 0 and start to have bigger numbers in there as you're calculating your points that you need to calculate for your champions and so on. So that's a quick look at to what the home screen is. And because I've got athletes and I've got dates and programs, I'm going to go print off some recording sheets. So I'd go members, member import, event, calendar, add a new date in. Now I want to go print off a bunch of paper to write on for that particular date I've just added. So either go recording forms here or click on event recording forms. Again, I like using these top navigation because it's always there for me. So go to event recording forms. Now I go and find the relevant date that I'm looking to choose. So I'll see what was happening on the 11th of September. Someone did some testing there. Looks like there's only 100s and 200s, so I'll see if I can find a better date. Here we go. We've got some high jump, long jump, javelin, shot put, 100s. I don't have to select anything on here. I can just leave everything as is and just go straight to preview sheets. This will then load up all the age, gender, events that was in that particular week, and any athletes that fit into here. So 6 male, there's only 1 6 male, Liam Test. 6 females, there's 3 of them. There's Cap, Sally, Oscar. 9s, it really bulks out there. We've got a whole bunch of under 9s and so on. So this splits it out. If I go print, it will split it out into one age gender event per A4. So here's one piece of A4 paper and it's got 6 male 100s. We come down here, we've got 6 male 100s. Oh, this is heat B versus this one here is heat A. So it just depends on what your setup is. If we come all the way down, here we go. So now we get into the 9 male long jump. And here's all the athletes. They've got 1, 2, 3 attempts and then somewhere to write their best. And they've also got their PBs down the right-hand side. And if there's a record, then that record is also up the top of my screen here, on top of the page.
So Nick, just with the records, I've created the Excel spreadsheet and just waiting for that to be double-checked.
Yep.
And I send it through to you guys to be uploaded.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it normally. So just shoot that over and then we'll push that in for you. So this current method that we're looking at is called regular. Versus if I go condensed, instead of having 1 A4 per age, gender, event, I'm going to have 1 A4 for the 9 males, but it'll have all their events on it. So I'll just focus on 9 males or 9s. So I'll show you the difference. So now the 9 males are...
Before doing that,
Yep.
sorry, with the long jump, for example, for the 9, can we put them in alphabetical order from their surnames?
Yep.
What I'm seeing there.
You can do. So you've got options on how you want them sorted.
Can it randomize it, or do you have to have it in an alphabetical order?
Most people tend to want it ordered of some description, whether it's by number, first name, last name, PB. That's why we've got all these options in here, because everyone wants it in some particular order each time. Because then this bit of paper will then also align with the results entry screen in the same order that you want to look at it. So if your paper's random and your results entry screen is random, you've got to spend a lot of time looking up and down the screen finding that athlete, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So if you sort it one way here, best to sort it the same way when you get to results entry, so then you can just marry them off together.
Yeah.
So this is the difference. So now I've got 9 males, but it's got 2 events on the one bit of paper. Versus on this other bit of paper, I've got just their long jump, and then I have to go and print off another bit of paper to get their discus or shot put. So depending on how you want to use the paper and what you're trying to achieve there.
Yeah.
Do you guys run age managers or event managers at your centre?
We have that, sorry? Our age marshals or managers do the paperwork.
Okay, so you'd want this printed off so all the 9s are in one pile, then all the 10s are in another pile, that sort of thing? Versus...
Essentially, we won't
Yeah.
track sheet,
So
it will just be the order then.
Yep, correct. So on here, I'll just go jumps and throws. And then print, but because I'm printing it by age group, it will keep all the 9s together and all the 10s together. Instead of if I went by events, it would put all the discuses together of all the age groups that are doing it on the day. And it would put all the shot puts together. So if you've got folders which you put paper into, which is by age group, and then you hand that to the age group marshal, then yeah, you'd want to do it by age group. You may want to add on blank lines for the start of the season because you know you're going to have newbies turning up that aren't on the bit of paper. So by doing so, I've added 7 blank rows, and when I reprint my recording sheets, I'll have 7 blank lines on the bottom here.
Now, when a group has quite a few athletes, does it print the information from the top of the sheet on both sheets?
Sorry, say that again?
So that age group that you just had, where it's got heaps of kids, when you print it individually, it's set up as 2 pages. Is that section not?
Yeah, it's not repeating that header.
Yeah. How many per sheet?
I think it's around 35 on a sheet. 9 males. Let's have a look here on the home page. Where is it? 9 males. Just wait for the home page to open up. Oh, that's why, sorry, because I'm in print mode. There we go. Now we go. So 9 males, we have 43 in total. And in our print view, how many do we have hanging off the bottom? 4. So there's 39 on a page.
That's fine. We won't get lines per age group. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, so that's how you do recording sheets. Now, you may notice with the recording sheets that there's another button down the bottom here, which is Preview High Jump. So High Jump is, what was I up to? 14th of August. I'll go to that one again because I had some high jump, I think. 14th, here we go. So I'm going to go Preview High Jump. So it does these a little different. It's got the number of heights across the top, but then 3 attempts per height. So that's where you do your tick, cross, dash scenario, and then put in the final result down here. Do you guys use Countback?
Do we use that? Yes, we do.
We have in the past, but
Because of age championship. Yeah, age championship.
Because you can turn it on so by default, as soon as you have any equal places in the system, it will then allow you to just enter the number of fails that that athlete has had, or each individual athlete has had, to then allow it to determine by countback rules who's the real place person in that scenario. So if you wanted to, you'd go to Setup and Profile Details. Down the bottom here, allow countback on field events. So then when we get our bit of paper and someone's put in there on the 14th of August for high jump, I'll go and enter some dummy results here. So we've got some new athletes I've just keyed in, and they've done, both have done 0.6. So in theory, we need to count back on those guys. I'll go save. It goes, Lucy and Charlotte are both on 0.6. How many attempts did they tie at the current height? And if there was 1 attempt and Lucy got through versus 2, then I'll better do these other ones too. So do 2 and 3, 1 and 1. Then because I did 1 and 1, it goes, how many fails did they have? Oh yeah, well, Sienna, she had 3 fails in total, and Shannon had 5. Now it's going to work out the placings for us based on that count back logic. And now if we scroll down and we change this placings around, even though they've got the same height, we've got the different places here. And the athlete that had a no jump has a place, but doesn't have a result, but has a no jump. Make sense?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Cool. So recap, what's the first thing we normally do each week? And we can do it a couple times a week.
Members import.
Nice. Then what would we normally do after that, or around the same time?
We would check that the 12-hour session created.
Cool. So how would I get and go and put in a new date program?
Okay.
Event calendar. Go and hit the plus button. Add in my new date and name and so on. I can recycle existing meets. I can use my template. I can import one from someone else or from my own. And I can also just create a blank meet because I want to build out all my dates, but I don't want to actually give that date and age, gender, event combination until I get up to it, just in case there's a washout and I don't want to have to delete dates because I don't want to use those age, gender, events. I want to use some different ones because last week's washout meant I have to repeat last week this week and all those sorts of things. Then you can just do a blank meet as well. So that's, and then the next step is our recording sheets. So how do I get to recording sheets or recording forms?
Is the button on the home screen or event recording?
Beautiful. And would you guys be using regular or condensed sheets, do you think? Regular, cool. Do you run age, genders together? As in,
Yeah.
Cool. So you
They
make,
go around.
so your older kids, less numbers, you want to bring them together, that sort of thing? Is that what we're talking about?
Yes.
Cool. So you may be aware, let's go have a look. If I go to more and age grouping, this is where you can set up. So what age groups do you run together? Sorry, not when I say run.
13.
Yep.
And then the 15, 16, and 17. Oh no, they're not all 6. 13s and 14s are together.
Okay. And what do you call them? Both genders together?
Yes.
And what would you call that group normally?
13, 14. Under 13 and 14.
13 to 14, cool.
Why not?
There's no secret code word,
Yep.
the curly mops. No? Okay, so we'll add that in. So now we've got a new group. Its name is 13-14. The age groups is 13 and 14, and genders is all, so male and female. And then you've also got another one by the sounds of it, 15 to 17. And using your same secret logic, I'll call it 15 to 17.
The you get up.
Yeah.
Down the you get up.
Okay. So now the age group called 15-17 has under 15, 16s and 17s and both genders. Where that applies is if we go to event recording forms, over here now, I can print off my 13s and 14s. If I use grouping and because you don't have any actual athletes, so it's not really going to do much for us because there's no athletes, so I won't be able to show anything. But that's what you would do. So you'd choose grouping, choose whichever grouping it is you want to print off. So you can't do both at the same time. You've got to choose one group, print it, choose the other and print it. And then,
Now, when it prints,
yep.
does it separate them
So
into their ages as well, or just literally put them through alphabetically?
again, you've got a few options there. So we'll jump back into demo, go into recording forms, grab the 14th that we've been playing around with. I'm going to grab some Motley Crue. Someone's had fun with them. No idea what age gender that is, but let's go have a look. Go grouping and go print. So apparently that's all that's in there that matches that group. So let's try a different one. Hairy, that's a funny one. Maybe they're older kids. There we go. So we've got 9s and 11s by the looks of this. I can change that to be sort by age, by gender, by ID, by whatever.
Age.
By age. And go sort. All my 9s then roll into my 11s and so on.
That's cool. On our one, how you've already chose two groups for us, will that stick and stay now, or will
Yeah.
will we?
Now that'll be there. You can go and edit it. You can go and delete it. You can do whatever you want to that. Look, someone's just trying to join in. Let's just see who this is. Hey, Carly. Hey, Carly.
Oh, hello.
How you doing?
I'm very early. It's working.
Ah, you're in WA, is that right?
Yes. Have I missed it?
Yeah, we're using the East Coast time, sorry. So we started...
Oh,
Did you
so
want?
sorry.
Did you want to try and catch up next week? But that'll be 5:30 your time.
I have to head off actually. I didn't actually think about the time difference, and I've got to go and pick up my son from something, so I might have to schedule for another day.
Okay, sorry about that.
That's okay. I should have thought.
Okay, no worries. You have a good night.
Thank you. I will email. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, that explains why she wasn't there earlier. WA time frame. Okay, so I think we've talked through this part, or are there any more questions about recording sheets?
No, that's excellent, thank you.
That's all good?
That's exciting.
Cool, so members, bring them in, event calendar, set up a new date, recording sheets, print off all your good stuff, and then the final step normally in a normal week is just obviously go and read all this beautiful handwriting and all these gorgeous numbers and key it in. So I briefly did that before, but just to go over the basics again, to key in any results, I need to come to the home page. And then the words that say results for and then the date, that's what we're saying. I want to key in results for the 11th or whatever. So I'll go to this date here, the 4th of September, and see what's in here. So I've got my bits of paper in front of me. I've got all the long jump bits of paper, so I'll click on long jump if I like. Now I've got all these different combinations here. The challenge with web, as you're probably aware, you've got to wait for a web page to load up, and that can add time to your day, and we don't all have a lot of time. So a little quick tip here, if I hold the control key on my keyboard, then I click on long jump, heat C6, you will notice up the top of my screen, there's a new tab that's just opened up. If I click the next one, another tab's opened up. Next one, next one, next one, next one, next one, next one. I've now got a whole bunch of tabs from all the long jumps that I want to key in that I haven't had to wait to load. Then I go to my first tab, pull out my 6 female sheet, press enter edit, select the first one, 1.45, tab. As I press tab, you'll notice that the DNS did not start, changed automatically to OK. That's what we want it to do. it shows me here their current PB for each athlete. If I go and put in a result of 1.1 and press tab, again, that will change to OK. If this athlete turned up but had 3 attempts, didn't take off correctly each time, so we had to give him a no jump, I could do that by clicking on no jump. Now as I press save, it's telling me there's an anomaly. This person's average is 1.8, but I've keyed in 1.1. So it's looked at this athlete's average. Cap test is this athlete's name because we're back in the dummy test area. And it's gone, hang on, plus or minus 25% of 1.8. This 1.1 falls outside of that range. I don't think this person has keyed the right thing in, so I'm just going to let them know that I don't think that that's a good value for this athlete based on the history that I know of this athlete. They go, oh, bugger, that's right. I was supposed to put in 1.81. So I'll press close, come in here, 1.81, and then I press save. And it hasn't alerted me to anything because it's all within the normal bounds of what it's expecting. And now I've got my athletes. We've got our no jumper, we've got our 1.81, and we've got the 1.45, and so on. Then once I'm finished with that, I can close that tab and go on to my next tab and press enter edit and repeat. Does that all make sense?
Yep.
So now I'll just close out all these extra, yep.
You were mentioning before with our club records that we can put that on a sheet, email it through to upload. Now, because this is our first year with ResultsHQ, we can manually put in like our kids re-registered this year, their personal PBs from existing.
So you want to bring in last year's PBs, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, is there a way that we can do that?
No, sorry. Yeah, the best way would be just line in the sand. Most centres do, they don't roll their PBs over. It's a new season, it's a new everything. Let's start new, and this year is your best chance to better your PB for this year. Good luck to everyone, that sort of thing. You'll notice on this home page, once we go and key some results in as well, that this will get smaller and smaller. So if I just go refresh on this page, at the end of the night, I shouldn't see anything when I come in here. Because see how there's 0 of 42, 0 of 28, 0 of 3, 0 of 4. That's telling me that no one has any results for these events that I'm seeing here. So at the end of the night, there shouldn't be anything on this page because they'll all be hidden. They'll all be in the with results. And so far, we've only got the one that I've keyed in just before. And now it's saying 3 of 4. And it's saying the best result for that group of events was 1.81. And the current record is 8.2. And there's a little tick out the side here just to say, yep, we've keyed this one. Versus if I go back to without results, which is the default, I'll have all my 0 ofs down the screen. So at a glance, you'll be able to see what's left to key in, which bits of paper are we missing, or which uploads are we missing. Versus once I've keyed everything in, I want to see some good numbers. So I don't want to see 1 of 30, because I'll think, hang on, only 1 result out of 30 potential results. Did only 1 kid really attend, or have I not keyed everything in for that age group yet? That sort of stuff. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Now I'm going to do a potential record here. So I'm going to come into long jump for 6 female. The current record is 8.2. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to put in 9.44. It's going to give me 2 alerts. Holy dooly, demo normally does a 1.68. Are you sure it's a 9.4? And also, while you're at it, the record was 8.22, and now you're putting in 9.44. Are you really sure this is all good? Yeah, hell yeah, she killed it, but I better check with the committee first to make sure we were going to ratify or verify this result. So I'm just going to save it, but I'm not going to accept the record. So I'll go this one. Now the committee's done what it's done and everyone approves that yes, that was an awesome jump. We had the metal tape out and we're happy with that. I could come back to this blue button and it highlights any potential results that have bettered the record at that point in time for that week.
Yeah.
And here we go, demo did a 9.44, potentially is better than P. Johnson, who did an 8.22 on the 1st of the 10th, 15. If the committee and I agree, we could click on Make CR and that will update the records. It will make this one historical, so it won't delete it. We can go and undo what we're doing now if we need to. But it'll make this current home record of 8.22 will make it historical. When I click on this, and now we've got a new record of 9.44. And it's saying current record.
Can we print out a certificate with that sort of thing from our system still?
Yeah, so you could come up to reports, center record list. Once this loads up, it tends to take a while because it's got a whole lot of data it's got to try and build out with all the different variables. So you just got to give it a few moments. And once it's had its coffee and it's happy, it should load up. I can come in here and I can go to Event Record Report. And here's my list of everything that I can choose from. Yep. Let me try that again. I think I have to select some things. Okay, and then just go View. Then here's all the potential records that have happened this year. And here's this one. New record, 9.44. That replaced the 8.22. That's just this club's logo and this club's name. Make sense?
And that will print out as a certificate, is that what you mean?
Yeah, so if I go Control P, break that off. So if I've got my A4 bit of paper with whatever I want to have as my embossed border and so on, then all these will be their own little page that I can print off to. It's just set up at the moment for A4, so that's why it's way up like that, because that's my default print. So that's how you enter results. That's how you check off your records. One of the last things you normally do for a week is just go and run some point calculations, sorry. So if I come up here to Event, Calculate, every single week in the year that's in my season calendar will be listed down the side here. Each of those weeks has all these potential points options that I want to turn on and use for these given nights. So I could go and turn on PB, attendance points and place points, and then go and do calculate all. And that will use whatever I've got set up for my place points and whatever I've got set up for my PB points and whatever I've got set up for my attendance points. Based on whoever's done whatever on that particular night, it's going to go and calculate the points for me. So on those sort of topics, what sort of points do you guys use at your centre?
I think first place is 6. We do
Okay.
And I think this is the most.
And the most what, sorry?
And the most improved, we use PB points.
Okay. So you can see here now I've got 127 points instead of 0 because I've just gone and calculated for that particular week. So I'll jump out of here again and I'll jump into your one. So where we go and set up our points is setup and points. And let's see what we've got. So PB was one you mentioned. Currently you've got 0 if you're equal, but 1 if you better your PB. And you've also got equal PB gets a PB status, so they'll get a silver star instead of a yellow star. And then we've got in here excludes athlete first result. Yes, so basically first time I do a long jump for the year, I don't get a PB star. I'll only get a PB star or an equal PB star if I equal or better that in the coming weeks. So that's all good with you guys? And if we go into place, so first place gets 10, second gets 7, and so on. Everyone else gets 1.
And is that from sixth place on
What's that, sorry?
I was checking from what place gets 1 point.
So 20.
Yeah.
After 20, they get 0.
Can be changed.
So you can add more in. So if you know you're going to be down to 30, then you just go and add those extra ones in.
Okay, cool.
Do you,
Oh, is that okay?
that's per age, gender, group. So not per race. So if you're running the timing gates, for example, and you've had 3 heats of 8 for the 9 males, it won't be 3 lots of first place and 3 lots of seconds. It'll be once all that data's uploaded, you'll have first through to 24, and you'll have 10 points down to 1 point. Do you guys use attendance points at all? Yeah, yep. So if I turn up for the night and do 1 event, then I get 1 point, and for each event that I do, I get 1 point. So if I turn up and do 1 event, I would get 2 points looking at this. If I turned up and did 5 events, I would get 5 event points plus an attendance point for my meet, so I'd have 6 in total.
So how do we set it up that they only get the points for the events that they do?
Yeah, so it's 4 events each Saturday, and we want them to get a point for each event that they attend.
Yep, so do you not want this meet one, you only want the event one?
Yeah.
So we just go edit and change the meet to 0 and press save. So now I've got 0 and 1.
Yeah.
So now if I go down to event, calculate, what I've seen so far is you need to have your place turned on, your PB and your attendance. And we just repeat that for all the weeks. And then once you've got athletes and results, you could come in here and press and wait, press and wait, press and wait, or come in here and ask it to do a full season one for me. Put an email in, go have a cup of tea. When it's done, it will send you an email so that it's finished, instead of sitting here and waiting and then clicking the next one.
So with the PB report or calculator, can it be done monthly, or do you have to select each of these?
Sorry, say that again.
Hello?
Hello?
Nick?
Yep. You there? Hello? Hello? Have I got you? Hello. 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 Hey guys. Hello, you're back. You got me? You there?
Hello, Nick.
Yeah, you got me?
You got me?
Hi, sorry, our computer died.
That's all right. No worries.
Hello.
I thought it was plugged in, but it wasn't.
Okay. Okay, so we're back to the points area. So
This weekend and next week. So this weekend and next weekend is still our tryout, and we don't want to start until the 30th.
okay.
Create events for this week and next weekend, but not have points start until the 30th.
Groovy. So we'll just untick these now.
Nick?
Yep, got me. Hello.
Okay.
Oh, we just select.
There's a really big delay. How's your internet going there?
So one.
Yeah.
So still create. You there? We can hear you. Can you hear us, Nick?
I can, but I can hear my own voice and it's around 30 seconds later.
Hello.
Hello.
Delay. How's your internet going there?
Nick?
Hey guys. You got me? You got me?
I guess looking from what I saw in spring, you look from every single week to see how people see what they do.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it's there. But I even week by week.
You got me, guys?
I want to finish entering on every week in there.
Tomorrow, I need to be up to weights and that shade word. Not anymore, is it?
It's on the
Can you hear me, guys? Hello.
Nick, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you, but it's very delayed, I think. How's that? Can you hear me?
I don't know what happened.
Can you hear me? Hello? You got me?
Just wait me.
Yeah, we can hear you, but you can't hear us.
I can hear you, but it's very delayed.
Okay.
Is that better?
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
Well, that's okay. You just keep talking. Loud and clear.
You got me? Hey, yeah, Nick here.
Yes.
Good.
There you go.
I can hear you now in real time, I think, because I was around a 30-second delay before I would say something. And now... So it seems like we're back to normal now. There's around a 30-second delay before on when I would say something versus when you would say something.
Okay, so if I hang up, it should be right.
I think so, yeah. Let's give that a go.
Okay, just so you know, it's super tricky having you and like...
Ooh.
All right, I'll hang up.
How's that? We're back on the same time frame now?
Okay,
Yes.
so you can hear us.
Yeah, I
You're
can.
in trouble now, Nick. I've got you.
All right, good one.
Yes.
Okay, so points. So we've gone through how to go and do the setup and how to calculate. We've just unticked place, PB, and attendance because you don't want those there on this first couple nights. That's fair enough.
But you've got to put it back on, Nick.
What's that? Sorry.
We've just got the timing solution symbol again.
Ah, let me turn that back on. Share. Is that better? How's that?
Now.
All good?
Perfect.
Okay, so that's how you'd go and calculate your points. And then at the end of the season, you'd come in here to leaderboard. And this is where you add up or sum up all your various points and to figure out who your age champion is. But you can go through that later on once you've actually got some data and some points in there. So at this point in time, I think we've kind of done the full cycle of what you need to do each week to make sure you got a good, successful feel and grasp on what you've got to do. How are you guys feeling right now? Sorry, what's that? Are you there? Hello?
I do have a question that's about ResultsHQ.
You got a question about
I have a
ResultsHQ?
question about ResultsHQ.
Okay, we'll have a quick look at ResultsHQ. So I'll close out of here.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm going to start up ResultsHQ.
Can you hear us, Nick?
Yeah, I can get you, but I think it's all a bit delayed. Can you hear me? I'm going to call you again. Hello. No, it's all right. Just there's some really big delays. I'm not sure how's your internet going at your end there. But
It's good. We're hearing you fine. You obviously aren't hearing us.
it's really delayed for some reason. I can hear my voice now through you nicely, but at times there, my voice that I hear at
That's okay.
my end is
Keep on talking.
around 20 seconds later.
Okay, we're not getting
Okay, cool. So I'll continue on now, okay? Sounds good. Okay, so questions about ResultsHQ, hit me. Hello. You there, guys? You've got yourself on mute. Just turn your little microphone off, back on, sorry. You there, guys? There we go. Now I got some noise. You got me? Hello? You there? Hello? Yes, I'll call you again. I'm not sure if you can hear me, but I can't hear anything at this end. G'day. Hello. Your microphone. Okay, sounds good.
Otherwise it's going to be too hard. So my question is with pack star.
Yep.
If they start
Yeah.
how to
Okay.
Okay.
So
I'm just going to, if you want to mute yourself, because I can hear you through the phone now.
Start but don't finish.
Okay, so here we go. So I'm going to go into pack start and I'm going to go race and go big screen and hit my control key to start. A number of those little shift keys to trigger. Get some times in here or some numbers. Now over here I've got this status called OK. Disqualified.
So essentially we just have to create a time even if they didn't.
Yeah, so if you want to give them attendance points, is that what it's about? Yeah, so you'd be best to do something like that. So if you put a time, if you want to use ResultsHQ, then yes, you need to have a time and then give them a DSQ. Otherwise, just go straight into ResultsHQ. And in there, in a sprint race, you would then change their status from DNS to participate. Yep, so they're your two options. But yeah, otherwise it won't know who it is you're trying to put a result against without creating a timestamp for them. Yeah. Oh, now if you're using gates, it's a little different. Because gates, you won't have to create a timestamp. You could just leave that as an empty result. As long as you've got an empty lane that nobody ran through, then you could just key in their name or their number. Yeah, so that's right. So pack is different, sorry, to sprint. So sprint, you could do it, but pack, you'll need to create a timestamp for them. Didn't have any athletes in there. Cool.
What else did you want to show us?
Well, your session, so it's been an hour 15 or so now. Is that enough for tonight to not overload you, or did you want to look at anything else? So reports, report builder. You'd come in here and you'd go untick results and tick on attendance. And then go preview. It will then bring up all the attendance percentages on the screen, or event count, and so on. I can click on these to sort them. Then I can export and do whatever I want in Excel. Good one.
Okay. So is everyone comfortable with how much we've learnt tonight? Yep. Okay. No, that's fine. So that's fine. So Karina now perhaps she can get the demo, she can play around with it.
Yep.
To go for the financials. She's going to email you the record.
Mm-hmm.
And get you guys to report that for us.
Groovy.
How long for us once we email will you be able to?
If the format's all nice and tidy and so on, then it's only a 10-minute episode.
Done it as your expectation.
Sweet. Well then, yeah, it should be nice and quick.
Okay. Thumbs up.
All right. Well, have a good night, guys.
Thank you very much, Nick.
Have a good one. Thanks for your time. Bye. Whoa. Hey, baby.